Before your feet even touch the floor, there is a quiet moment where your whole day is waiting to take its first breath with you, and you get to decide what kind of breath that will be. Not the perfect breath, not the "I've got it all together" breath, just a real one, a kind one, a breath that says, "I am here, and I am willing to begin again." So many people open their eyes and immediately feel a rush in the body. The mind starts running before the heart has even woken up. The clock is loud, the phone is louder, yesterday's unfinished business taps you on the shoulder, tomorrow's worries stand at the door. And you might not even realize it, but in those first seconds you are choosing a direction. You may be choosing fear without meaning to. You may be choosing pressure. You may be choosing the old familiar story that says, "I'm already behind." And sweetheart, I understand. I have seen so many people live that way, not because they want to suffer, but because it became a habit, a well-worn path in the mind. And here is what I know to be true. This is only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Mornings are one of the simplest places to practice that. Not because mornings are always easy, but because mornings are a doorway. The mind is softer, the heart is still close. The day is not yet crowded with evidence. There is room for a new choice to take root. You see, alignment isn't something you chase all day long. It's something you choose, gently at the very beginning. Alignment is not forcing life to behave. Alignment is meeting life with the part of you that is calm, loving, and willing. When you begin from that place, you may notice that you respond differently. You speak differently. You see opportunities you might have missed, and you stop fighting the river. I like to think of it like tuning a radio. If you've ever turned the dial and heard that crackling sound, half music, half noise, you know what it feels like when you're close but not quite there. And then you turn it just a little, and suddenly the music comes through clear. The station was there the whole time. You didn't create it, you didn't beg for it. You simply adjusted your frequency so you could receive it. Your morning is the dial. When you wake up and go straight into worry, you're tuning to a station of tension. When you wake up and go straight into criticism, you're tuning to a station of harshness. When you wake up and go straight into hurry, you're tuning to a station of frantic movement. And when you wake up and choose one loving thought, one gentle breath, one moment of appreciation, it's like turning the dial toward peace, toward clarity, toward support. This doesn't mean nothing challenging will ever happen. Life is life, but you become different inside of it. And when you are different, your day can unfold in a different way. So let's begin very simply, right now as you listen. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Notice what your body is doing as you breathe. Notice the shoulders, the jaw, the belly. Many of us hold our mornings in the jaw, clenched, preparing to push through, or in the chest, tight, bracing for what might come, or in the stomach, fluttering with that old anxiety. Just notice, without judging. And now, if you can, place a hand on your heart, or on your belly, somewhere your body can feel your kindness. Let your touch be a message. I'm here with you. Feel that for a moment, the warmth of your own hand, the steadiness of your own presence. The point of power is always in the present moment, not later, not when the inbox is cleared, not when everyone else behaves. Right here, in this breath, you have power. You might say, "But my mornings are chaos," and I hear you. Some mornings you wake to a crying child, a barking dog, a loud street, a stiff body, a heavy heart. Some mornings you wake in pain. Some mornings you wake in grief. Some mornings you wake and the same old fear is already there waiting. And even then, there is still one small choice you can make. You can choose to be on your own side. Because so often what hurts us most is not the situation. It is the way we speak to ourselves inside the situation. The inner voice that says, here we go again. The inner voice that says, I can't handle this. The inner voice that says, something is wrong with me. Those voices usually began long ago. Maybe you grew up in a house where mornings were tense, where being late meant being shamed, where you had to be ready, quiet, efficient. Maybe you grew up with criticism instead of comfort. Maybe you learned that love came when you performed, when you pleased, when you didn't make trouble, and if that was your beginning, your nervous system may still believe that mornings are dangerous, that mornings require armor. So when you wake up and your body tightens, it's not because you're failing, it's because a part of you is trying to protect you the only way it knows how. We don't fight that part. We don't shame it. We soothe it. We teach it something new. We say thank you and you are safe now. Because you are. You are safe to begin again. You are safe to choose a gentler thought. You are safe to let life support you. Now I want to offer you a morning practice that is very simple and very powerful. Not because it is complicated, but because it is loving. And love is the greatest healer I know. Imagine you are setting a table for your day. If you were setting a table for someone you adore, you would not throw crumbs on a plate and call it dinner. You would bring care. You would bring something nourishing. You would bring beauty, even in small ways. You would create an atmosphere that says, you matter. But many people set a table for their day with stress, self-criticism, and dread. And then they wonder why the day tastes bitter. So in the morning, you get to ask yourself, what am I serving today? And if you don't like what you're serving, you can change it. Not all at once, not perfectly, just one ingredient at a time. Here is the first ingredient, presence. Before you reach for your phone, before you reach for the world, reach for yourself. One hand on the heart, one slow breath, one sentence of kindness, even if the sentence is simple, good morning, sweetheart, or I'm here, or we can do this gently. You might feel silly at first. That's all right. Many people feel uncomfortable with tenderness because they didn't receive much of it. But discomfort does not mean it's wrong. It simply means it's new. Here is the second ingredient, intention. Not the rigid kind of intention that says, everything must go my way, but the loving kind that says, this is how I choose to meet my life. You can choose one word for your day, ease, courage, patience, openness, clarity, kindness. Just one word, and you hold that word like a warm stone in your pocket. You don't have to think about it all day, but when you remember it, it brings you back to yourself. Here is the third ingredient, a new thought. Because thoughts are like seeds, and morning soil is rich. If you plant worry, you tend to harvest more worry. If you plant criticism, you tend to harvest more criticism. If you plant love, you begin to notice love. So let's plant love together. And I want you to be very honest with yourself, very gentle. What is your first habitual thought when you wake up? Is it, I don't want to do this? Is it, I'm tired? Is it, there's too much? Is it, I'm not enough? Just notice. And now, choose a thought that feels like a step toward relief, not a leap you can't believe, a step. If everything is perfect feels too far, try, I'm willing to see something good today. If I love my life feels too far, try, I am learning to love myself. If I'm completely calm feels too far, try, in this moment I can soften. A thought can be changed. And we change it the way we turn the dial, a little at a time, until the music comes through. Now, I want to offer you a small piece of mirror work for the morning. If you can stand in front of a mirror at some point, even for 10 seconds, do it. If you cannot, you can imagine it, and it still reaches the mind. Look at your own eyes, or imagine your eyes looking back at you, and let your face soften. No performance, No fixing, just presence. And then say something kind, the way you would speak to a dear child or a beloved friend. You might say, "I love you," or "I'm proud of you for being here," or "I will take care of you today," or "You deserve good things." Notice what happens in your body when you say it. Sometimes the heart opens and you feel relief. Sometimes the throat tightens. Sometimes tears come. That's all right. Tears are not a problem. Tears are a release. They are the body washing away an old hardness. Let whatever is there be there, and keep your voice gentle, because the goal is not to force yourself into positivity. The goal is to create safety inside yourself, and safety is what allows change. Now, if you would like, let's move into an affirmation sequence you can use in the morning. You can speak along softly or listen and let the words wash through you. And if any phrase feels too big, you can whisper, "I am willing." That little phrase opens a door. Take a breath and begin. In the infinity of life where I am, all is well in my world. In the infinity of life where I am, all is well in my world. In the infinity of life where I am, all is well in my world. Feel those words settling in, not as a demand, but as a gentle possibility. The mind may argue. Let it. You don't have to fight it. Simply return to the feeling of your hand on your heart. Life loves you, and you are safe. Life loves you, and you are safe. Life loves you, and you are safe. Notice if your shoulders soften even a little. Notice if your breath becomes easier. The point of power is always in the present moment. The point of power is always in the present moment. The point of power is always in the present moment. You are not required to solve your whole life before breakfast. You are only invited to come back to this moment and choose again. I choose thoughts that support me today. I choose thoughts that support me today. I choose thoughts that support me today. And you might add quietly, even if I forget later, I can return. Even if I fall into worry, I can return. Even if the day is messy, I can return. I am worthy of ease. I am worthy of ease. I am worthy of ease. Let that be a new truth you allow. Worthy of ease, worthy of kindness, worthy of support. I trust that life is guiding me one step at a time. I trust that life is guiding me one step at a time. I trust that life is guiding me one step at a time. Now pause, breathe, and feel. This is not magic that makes you float above your life. This is a practice that changes how you live inside your life. And over time, with practice, you may discover that your outer experiences begin to respond to your inner shifts. Because when you stop fighting, you can hear your guidance. When you stop criticizing yourself, you have more energy. When you stop rushing in fear, you move with clearer focus. Let me give you a few real examples, because the mind loves to say, yes, but. Imagine you wake up and the first thought is, I'm going to have a terrible day at work. Maybe you've been stressed. Maybe you dread a conversation. Maybe you feel undervalued. That thought is like tuning to a station of dread. And then all day you look for proof. The tone of an email feels harsher. A coworker's face looks unfriendly. A small mistake feels enormous. You become tense. And tension makes everything harder. Now imagine you wake up and choose a different thought. Not a fantasy, a choice. You place your hand on your heart and say, I am willing to have a supported day, or I bring peace with me, or I can handle what comes, one moment at a time. You might still have challenges, but you show up differently. You might speak more clearly. You might set a boundary more calmly. You might notice the one person who is helpful. You might see the one task you can complete first. The day becomes more workable because you are not adding the extra burden of inner attack. Here's another example. Imagine you wake up and you're already upset with someone you love, a partner, a family member, The mind starts rehearsing the argument. You haven't even spoken yet, but you're already in the fight. That is also a station. And when you tune there, you start broadcasting sharpness. Your tone changes. Your face tightens. The other person feels it, and they respond. Now you have created a loop. Now imagine you wake up and you say, "I choose peace in my home," or "I am willing to see with loving eyes," or "I can express myself with kindness and honesty." You might still need a conversation, you might still need a boundary, but you enter it with more softness. And softness invites listening. Not always, but often. And even when the other person doesn't change immediately, you feel better inside yourself because you have not abandoned your own loving nature. And here is a third example, one that touches the body. Imagine you wake up and your body hurts, or you feel heavy, or you don't like what you see in the mirror. The mind may say, "My body is failing me," or "I'm not attractive," or "I'll never feel good." Those thoughts land in the body like stones. The body hears everything. The cells listen. And when the body hears criticism, it tightens. It resists. It becomes more stressed. Now imagine you wake up and you speak differently. You place your hand on your belly and say, "I love you, thank you for carrying me." You place your hand on your chest and say, "I am learning to be kind to you." You look in the mirror and say, "I am willing to appreciate you." This doesn't mean you ignore your health. It means you approach your health with love rather than war. And love is a powerful medicine. Love helps you choose supportive actions. Love helps you rest. Love helps you nourish. Love helps you listen. Your inner wisdom knows what you need. And if you ever doubt that, come back to the simplest thing, the way you speak to yourself. Because your self-talk is the atmosphere of your life. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that says, "But I've tried affirmations and they didn't work." Sometimes people say that because they used affirmations like a weapon, trying to force the mind into a new belief while the body is still frightened. And a frightened body cannot accept a new story easily. It needs reassurance. It needs gentleness. It needs repetition without pressure. Affirmations are not a test you pass or fail. They are a relationship you build with your own mind, your own heart, your own life. If you say an affirmation once and then spend the day criticizing yourself, it's like planting a seed and then digging it up to see if it's growing. Give yourself time. Give yourself compassion. Give yourself room to practice. And also, choose affirmations that feel believable enough to land. If you say, "Everything is perfect," and your mind screams, "No, it's not," you can soften it to, "I am willing to see perfection in small moments," or "Even here, life can support me," or "I am open to unexpected good." The mind can work with openness. The mind can work with willingness. Now let's make this even more practical, because a morning practice must live in real life, not just in a quiet room. Some mornings you have 5 minutes, some mornings you have 1 minute, some mornings you have none. And still, you can choose a thought while you brush your teeth. You can choose kindness while you wash your face. You can choose your word of the day while you put on your shoes. So here is a simple way to remember it, not as a rigid routine, but as a loving sequence you can adapt. First, breathe. 1 slow breath, even one. Second, touch, hand on heart or belly or cheek, a gesture of care. Third, choose. 1 supportive thought, 1 word, 1 intention. And then begin. You can do this in bed. You can do this standing in the kitchen. You can do this in the bathroom. You can do this in the car before you walk into your day. And when you forget, you begin again. Because your power does not disappear when you forget. The point of power is always in the present moment. Now, I want to add something beautiful to your morning table. appreciation. Appreciation is like sunlight. It doesn't deny the shadows. It simply brings warmth where warmth is needed. You don't have to be grateful for everything. You don't have to pretend you like what you don't like, but you can find one thing, one small thing to appreciate. The warmth of a blanket, a sip of water, the fact that you woke up, the way your body breathes without you telling it to, the sound of birds, the fact that you have another chance. Even if your life feels heavy, there is something that is still holding you, something that is still supporting you. Life loves you, and it shows love in quiet ways. And when you notice those quiet ways, you tune your radio toward support. Now, let's talk about watch everything align perfectly, because I want you to hold that phrase with wisdom. Alignment does not mean every traffic light turns green. Alignment does not mean you never get disappointed. Alignment means you are connected to yourself, and from that connection, you meet life with more trust. When you begin your day in love, you may notice that you make different choices. You may notice that you speak up sooner instead of swallowing your truth. You may notice that you rest when you need rest instead of pushing until you collapse. You may notice that you take the call you've been avoiding, and that call opens a door. Things can begin to align because you are no longer pulling against yourself. And sometimes alignment looks like a gentle redirection. Something doesn't work out, and later you realize it saved you from a path that wasn't right. Alignment can be a closed door that leads you to a better room. So we don't use morning practice to control life. We use morning practice to cooperate with life. All is well in my world does not mean everything is perfect. It means I can be with myself. I can be with life. I can find my way. Now, if you'd like, let's deepen this even more, because the morning is also a time when old fears rise. The quiet can bring feelings you've been avoiding. If you wake up and you feel sadness, let it be there. Place your hand on your heart and say, "It's okay to feel what I feel." If you wake up and you feel anger, let it be there. Say, "I honor my feelings and I choose how I express them." If you wake up and you feel emptiness, say, "I am learning to fill my life with love." Feelings are waves. They move, they shift. They do not have to define your whole day. And sometimes when you soothe yourself in the morning, you discover something important. You discover what you've been needing. Maybe you've been needing rest, not more effort. Maybe you've been needing honesty, not more pretending. Maybe you've been needing support, not more self-reliance. Your inner wisdom knows, and mornings are a time you can hear it. So I want to invite you to ask one gentle question as you begin your day, and then listen for the simplest answer. What would be loving for me today? Not grand, not complicated, loving. Sometimes the answer is, eat something nourishing. Sometimes the answer is, say no. Sometimes the answer is, take one step. Sometimes the answer is, forgive yourself. Sometimes the answer is, breathe. Loving answers are usually simple. The mind wants drama. Love wants truth. Now let's return to our affirmations one more time, not as a chant you rush through, but as a way of setting the table carefully. Take a breath. I greet this day with love. I greet this day with love. I greet this day with love. I am willing to see the good that is available to me. I am willing to see the good that is available to me. I am willing to see the good that is available to me. I choose to cooperate with life. I choose to cooperate with life. I choose to cooperate with life. And I deserve good things, and I deserve good things. I deserve good things. And just notice how those words feel. Maybe they feel comforting. Maybe they feel tender. Maybe they feel challenging. Whatever you feel is okay. The words are planting seeds. Now I want you to imagine your day ahead for just a moment. Not in anxious detail, but with a soft picture. See yourself moving through your day with a little more ease. See yourself pausing when you need to pause. See yourself speaking kindly to yourself when something goes wrong. See yourself returning to your word, ease, courage, patience, openness, clarity. And if you'd like, imagine life meeting you halfway, a helpful person, the right timing, a small moment of grace, not because you forced it, but because you were available to receive it. This is the way alignment often happens, through availability. When you're clenched, you can't receive. When you're open, you notice what's already there. So if you take nothing else from this, take this. Start your day on your own side. Speak to yourself as someone you love. Tune your inner radio toward peace, one small turn at a time. Set the table for your day with kindness, and you may find the day tastes different. And when the day gets loud, when you get pulled into old habits, when you forget, you can come back. You can come back while you're making coffee. You can come back while you're washing your hands. You can come back while you're waiting at a red light. One breath, one hand on the heart, one supportive thought. The point of power is always in the present moment. I want to leave you with a final truth, one that has helped so many people. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be present. You are not here to punish yourself into change. You are here to love yourself into freedom. And life is not against you. Life is learning how to love you through you. So as you step into your day, carry this with you, softly, like a blessing. In the infinity of life where you are, all is well in your world. And if it doesn't feel well yet, you can say, I am willing for it to become well. That willingness is powerful. That willingness is the beginning. Life loves you and you are safe. All is well in your world, and you can begin again, right now, and again, whenever you need to.